So, it's been a while. I know you're all expecting an explanation, and I got one. I swear I am not lying when I say that after watching this absolute train wreck, I've had to take a couple of months to recover.
I'm lying, bro.
That'll be my excuse, but life busy, all those shenanigans. Moving on to today. I pride myself on being someone who watches good anime. There's thousands and thousands to choose from. Why would I actively choose to watch X-Arm when I could watch something like Frieren?
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
But at the end of the day, I'm a man. A simple man. And sometimes to fulfill my simple man desires, I need to just watch some mindless garbage. But just because something is mindless garbage doesn't mean it has to be mindless garbage.
What in the goddamn hell are you talking about?
I think a perfect example of this is Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling is in no way a bad show. I actually quite enjoyed it, but my expectations going into the show were much different than usual. I wanted to see nice animation, hear nice music, and see Jinwoo beat the shit out of some stuff, and that's exactly what I got.
I'm going to kill you, and then kill you again.
No need for Steins Gate level story or monster level of complex characters. Is it the anime of the year? No, but that doesn't mean it's a failure. Mindless garbage might be a bit of a harsh term, but what I mean is something that you can watch and enjoy without having to pay super close attention to any underlying messages or themes. I can just shut off my brain and enjoy. I just so happen to be in the mood for one of these shows, and I guess unlucky for me, I stumbled across an anime that checked all of the boxes. Let me introduce you to Ninja Kamui.
Don't go ninja, nobody don't need ninja.
On the surface, the show seemed to have it all. The man who brought us Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1, Sung-Hoo Park directing it, Kenjiro Suda in the lead role, Park Studio, E&H Production doing the animation, an easy-to-follow revenge plot, and an absolute banger opening by Cold Rain. Sounds great on paper, but we've all been burned before by shows like this. We see the names involved or who's producing it, expecting it to be good, but are ultimately disappointed. It's a lot harder to gauge with movies, but with shows, I like to utilize the 3-episode rule. It's not a perfect system, but usually if the show can keep me engaged and maintain its quality for the first 3 episodes, it's usually worth finishing. This is where our first dilemma arises. Ninja Kamui has a very strong first 3 episodes.
This right here is my favorite thing ever. In the history of forever.
Like I mentioned, the story isn't anything spectacular. Our main character, Higan, has escaped his ninja clan. They don't like that. So, in response, they murder him and his family.
My brother used to break in our house and steal the TV.
But now he's dead.
However, Higan does not die and now is out for revenge. Guy's only goal now is to crash out and murder anything in sight. You signed me up. 9.5 minutes in, our first fight scene. It's incredibly violent, but incredibly fluid with those signature camera rotations that made JJK Season 1 so enjoyable. Obviously wasn't the result our MC wanted,
Man, I'm dead.
but it's nice to get a taste early on of what's being cooked up. I would have been fine with this for the first episode, but like 3.5 minutes later, we got another fight scene that's more violent, has even better choreography, and a bunch of cool new ninja abilities, and let me tell you, it's twice as long. Hell yeah. Episode 1, guy angry, guy kill. That's a solid start, but you can never trust just the first episode. The next episode admittedly isn't as strong, but it's just because there's more dialogue. Higan questioning a guy and then torturing him, and then the police wondering why the guy who was supposed to be dead is gone and that there's dead bodies all over the hospital. Even through some of the drag, there's these little moments of hype to push you through the forgetful writing. And then again at the end, another sick fight. This dude's duking it out with a fucking Uber Eats driver. You know, must have left no tip.
Where's my money, bitch?
This dude's got these like Kusuri Gamas, then pulls out the Ronnie cosplay and starts fighting with forearms. And rather than being at a disadvantage, our bro decides, you know what? Fuck it, 6 arms. Again, I'm not expecting Steins Gate. As long as we can end on a nice fight, I'll be happy.
Here's the fucking money, shithead!
2 for 2. This last episode is going to be the real tester. Again, story, kinda ass. We see the goals of the ninja clan, and our MC teams up with a cop to get info and get closer to that clan. Talking, boring, more talking, boring. Finally, I was getting a little worried, but we have our end of episode fight. Also, I have to point this out. I don't know how bad of a shot you have to be to not hit a guy riding on top of a VW bug, but hey, that's why this dude's not the MC. This time we got this like fucking Wolverine Dr. Octavius hybrid. This on itself isn't as good as the other main 2 fights, but the thing that stuck out the most to me was the music. This honestly made me even more hyped because it shows that they can use different mediums to be the star in action scenes. Now we're 3 for 3, and not just a light one. I was thoroughly enjoying these episodes. Surely they will continue to keep up this quality.
It's false. No way. Not this time.
I've given nothing but praise, it seems, for Ninja Kamui, so how can I go about calling this video How to Ruin an Anime? Well, it starts here, because from episode 4 on, the show consistently drops in quality. Sure, there's a couple decent moments, but that's like trying to come up for air when you're already at the bottom of the Marianas Trench.
I am under the water. Please help me.
It's not just one thing that starts this downward spiral, but a collective, so I think it's better that we break each thing down individually. First off, the mechs.
I should have let you. What the fuck?
Yep, you heard that right. Instead of continuing with all of these cool ninja fights and abilities, we now have these fucking weird, like, Overwatch-esque mech suits, because, you know, they need those to be even more powerful. I wish I was kidding with the Overwatch, but we have, look like Genji and Zenyatta. Even if I don't like this direction, as long as it doesn't affect the animation quality and fights, we're good. It just so happens that these affect the animation quality in fights.
You're just ruining it. Look at my lips, you're ruining it.
It feels as soon as these suits are introduced, the entire quality shifts, like it was handed off to a different team. The backgrounds are simpler and the colors are more muted, and the fight scenes have almost a slow-mo feel with choppier frames. The scene that really puts it together is a little bit later, but it's on episodes 10 and 11. It's this big duel showdown between Higan and his former friend Zai. We're in this weird, like, gray Acropolis-looking building, and the only real colors being their bright-ass blue and red suits.
What the hell is even that?
I'm pretty sure it's CGI, which is part of that slow-mo effect I mentioned, but the episode concludes with this massive punch that blows their suits off. I just find it hilarious that as soon as their suits are gone, the fight becomes infinitely better, albeit not as good as the early episodes. Some actually nice hand-to-hand and some cool camera zooms. This is just how you feel for the entire show. As soon as you see the suits, you get a bit disappointed, but perk back up a bit when you see action scenes without them. And ultimately you just get mad because you can see what they're capable of, they're just not choosing to do it. If the action was a 9 out of 10 for the first 3 episodes, it's around a 3 or 4 out of 10 for the remaining 10, which is not great when action was really the only thing going for the show.
But wait! There's more!
Next issue is the characters. There's too many and they try to get you to care about all of them. I'm gonna bring it up again, but they should have just gone the solo leveling route. Sure, there's some other characters, but we don't spend any extended time with them. We follow Jinwoo, but even his character isn't fleshed out, which honestly is completely fine with me, because again, I'm not here for the deep character development. Instead of just focusing on Higan, we constantly go back and forth what feels like 4 different perspectives. The stuff with Higan and his wife Mari are completely acceptable. You get to see how he met and fell in love and gain some more justification for his revenge. Did they have to include it? No, but I'm not going to get mad at that.
I'll allow it.
Then there's Zai, who was a member of the same ninja clan and partners with Higan and Mari. His stuff I can also accept, because he has a previous relationship and was closest to the main character, although, I'm going to be honest, didn't care.
Don't care. Don't care. Still don't care. I don't care.
Then there's Joseph, who's the founder of this company, Auza. Basically a tech company that is responsible for making the ninja suits, so I already hate him for that.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. I'm gonna kill you.
He's just a power-hungry wuss who thinks he's gonna start a new world with his tech. We see so much of him interacting with the chief of the ninja clan, and honestly, any scene with him on the screen is insufferable. But by far, the worst character Ninja Kamui focuses on is Mike Morris.
That's gotta be racist. There's no way.
He's the cop who initially meets Higan when he's in the hospital. The classic fight for justice and have to get the case solved no matter what archetype. He's not a bad guy, but probably one of the most boring characters I have ever seen. There is more personality in Wet Cardboard, and it feels at times that he's the main character. They talk about his life, his relationship with his police partner,
Baby, 'cause you are my girlfriend.
and this hacker who's literally the adult version of Zenitsu. This is an action show. I don't want to focus on a guy who has no cool factor whatsoever and does shit like this during the action scenes.
Bad rain, terrible rain.
I really hate that they try to get us to kind of rally behind his whole sense of justice, but to do that he would have to be an interesting character, which he is in fact not. Then there's a bunch of other characters that they try to tie back into Higan and create these overlaps with his life, and it's really just not necessary. Personally, I think just eliminating Joseph and the whole Auza thing, and then just focusing on Higan trying to get to the ninja clan, would have been a more enjoyable experience. Then you just give Morris a limited role of trying to catch these people committing murders, but remaining firmly in the background. So the beginning was great, and the middle was some of the most forgetful shit I've seen. But maybe the ending can at least make this serviceable.
It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction.
Well, yep. I'm only going to cover the literal last fight, because all of the stuff leading up to it is part of those forgetful 9 episodes. Ninja Chief is posted in his Genji cosplay waiting for Higan to arrive, which he does shortly after. As soon as I saw that we were going to be in the mechs, I knew the fight wasn't going to be great. Again, it's much slower and less fluid than the other fights, but this one actually hurts the eyes to watch. The suits are incredibly saturated, and we have this barren-ass purple city background, like something straight out of a PS2 game. The only environment around is one singular shitty CGI car.
Oh man. What's wrong with my car, man?
This fight goes on for a bit, and then Zai joins the fight, making it a 1v2. I wish I could say this increases the quality, but it doesn't. The real climax starts when everybody begins using their secret ninja arts. Ooh. Of course, there's like 3 or 4 minutes of flashbacks that take you out of the entire fight, so that's sick, but this part in particular feels so similar to the Kaiju number 8 fight between Kafka and General Shinomiya. It's in this tech lab type area. We get an ominous yellow face, and Guy becomes like an electricity monster. Difference is, the Kaiju fight is fucking sick. If you want to get a good example of how to create good choreographed fights with the addition of tech weapons, watch that fight. Once the Chief finishes using the Tesla charger, he becomes much stronger than Higan. And for the true climax, we get perhaps the corniest power-up moment I've ever seen. These suits respond to the user's will, and apparently Higan's suit just disintegrates into these very rough-looking crystals to reveal a pure black suit. I know some people were in the animation studio thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna be the shit. But then, I kid you not, when I saw that, I turned directly into that white man blinking meme. This does not make the fight any better. You know, I will give credit to this one ability, even though it's just some random lines on the screen. It does look pretty nice. I'm just gonna let this play uninterrupted so you can see the final hit. We get cool animation into flashback montage into off-screen ability kill. I know I shouldn't have had any hope going into this considering how a majority of the show was, but it's just baffling how this was the best that they could come up with for a resolution after those initial 3 episodes. It feels rushed, low quality, and an overall bleh ending to a mostly Boy, anime. If this video teaches you anything, maybe don't give everything a chance. Being real though, I've seen this type of thing too many times, but it's usually from anime originals like Ninja Kamui, or mixed media projects such as Tokdopi Destiny. There's no actual content for them to go off of, and they just spend the entire time creating that SpongeBob that they forget to make the rest of the show. I guess I'm not just completely upset because I wasn't expecting that much to begin with, but I'd much rather something be made for its entirety than something start off insane that ends terribly. If you had a chance to watch Ninja Kamui, let me know what you felt about it in the comments, or if you've watched anything similar that started really well and then just ended in a bad state. I'm gonna stop promising to be more consistent because I feel each time I do, I'm gone for longer periods of time, but if you did enjoy this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. That's all for this time. Hope to see you again. Hopefully, that is.